you are a fish. What do I mean by this? I heard a story earlier and I was like, that's a perfect analogy, right? For how things work. So there's two little fish. They weren't little fish, but I'm making them little fish for the purpose of the story, right? There's two little fish swimming through life, doing their thing in the ocean. And then a third fish comes along and goes to the other two fish. How's the water? You know? Carries on going by. Another two fish swim along, they look at each other, and then one fish goes to the other fish. What's water? And that's a perfect analogy for us human beings, you know? The same way that fish live inside an ocean of water, probably, and I'm just assuming because obviously I'm not a fish, right? Probably not aware of the fact that they're within water, because that's what they know. And that's like us as human beings. We are living, swimming in an ocean of energy. We are energy, and everything around us is this energy. So we're like in this ocean of energy. This is what the universe is made out of, including us. But when we can have that comprehension that we are in this ocean of energy and we're a part of this ocean of energy, everything begins to shift, because you stop looking at everything as physical. Like, you're not like, this is solid. You understand that that's an illusion, and what it is this vibrating energy at a certain dense frequency, which therefore makes it solid when it's touched by the dense frequency of our body. But at its essence core is simply energy. Hence why in the Matrix he's looking at the spoon and he's like, there is no spoon. Because there isn't any spoon. It's just energy at a certain frequency. And this is how Neo in the Matrix, with what I'm talking about, he's emotionally integrated that, and he knows that as a premise, and therefore he can literally fly and move certain things in his reality, because he knows this, he's integrated this way of life. Now, if we can begin to perceive the whole universe around us as constant energy, we can begin to understand and perceive things in terms of frequency and vibration instead of actual material. And this is wood and this is glass and that's a tree and that's a car, you know, like it's frequency, it's vibration. Then the people you come into, you'll be looking at them and you'll be looking at their frequency, their vibration that they're emitting, because we're all emitting frequencies and vibrations like radio towers. I'm not happy about this 5G, but we won't get into that right now because we're talking about fishes and stuff, right? So we're in this ocean of energy, and it's powerful, it's beautiful, it's what you are, it's where you're at. The whole universe is frequency. So when you're walking around, look around and just keep it in the back of your mind that this is an ocean of energy. And a lot of people are walking around, they're not even aware that they're in an ocean of energy. They're so caught up in the mundane 9 to 5 typical life, paying bills, stress, cortisol, sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, survival mode, that they're not aware that they're in an ocean of energy, and they have direct influence over this ocean of energy depending on the frequency that they're emitting. If you emit a frequency of positive experiences, I say positive because it's all frequency, what you label it to be positive is what makes it positive. Not what it actually is. It's the meaning that you associate to it that makes it what it is to you. There's a story, right? There was a king, and he was with this jester, and they went hunting, and what was it? Oh, it's a good story. Bear with me. It's coming. So they're out. It's not a jester, it's like his, I don't know, not second in command, but there's just a guy with the king, right? One of the gods, whatever. And they go out into the forest and they go hunting. And the god who's supposed to guard the king doesn't guard the king properly, and he gets bitten by a boar, right? And it bites off his thumb. So the king gets very angry and puts the guy in a cell. And then when the guy's in the cell, you know, someone says, that's bad luck. And he says, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And then the king carries on going out, and you know, he comes across these carnivores, and they go to kill him and eat him, these cannibals, but they look at him and they say, oh, you haven't got a thumb, so we don't want to eat you, we only eat whole beings. And they let him go. And he goes back to the guy at the guard, and he says, oh, you know, I'm sorry about that, it was I'm sorry, I shouldn't have locked you up, that was bad. And he goes, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. And then he lets him out, and he says to him, why was it maybe that it wasn't? And he says, well, if your thumb never got bitten off, you would have been eaten by the cannibals, so maybe it was good that your thumb got cut off. And if I hadn't been locked up by you, I hadn't lost the thumb, I definitely would have been eaten by the cannibals. So maybe it's good that you locked me up. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. You know, it's the meaning we associate to things. Because if you initially get your thumb bitten off, you're thinking that's a bad thing. You're not thinking it's going to save your life in a week or two, right? Now, I know most likely in your reality, you're not going to get your thumb bitten off, you know, most likely, because it's a possibility. Anything is. But there'll be loads of things in life that you deem to be negative. Like when my motorbike was stolen, I was like, maybe, right, maybe I would have got killed on a car crash next week, so it's been taken. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. Perception, right? It's all about perception. But what you label as positive and want to experience, if you're emitting a frequency that's in alignment vibrationally with that which you want to manifest, then that will begin to come into your reality, because it's an ocean of energy. But if you're emitting a negative frequency of experiences that you don't want to experience, that's what you'll pull into your reality. It doesn't matter what you want. It matters how you're vibrating, the frequency that you're vibrating at. It's all about energy. It's all about frequency. And you're a fish. Peace and love.